Hello, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me for another video. I appreciate it. As always, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me and I appreciate it. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new app, decentralized app, loaded on the Tron blockchain. It's called Fomo. You can get it at hitdapps.com. For the most part, that's all of the promoting on it I'm going to be doing about the app. There's a couple things that I want to talk about on what we've basically just been watching here with the app. While we're at a time right now in crypto, 2018 has been a bear market. The market's been trading sideways for the most part, and it feels like people have been looking for anything just to kind of clamor onto. And in the time where we're at right now, it feels like this particular app is one of those things. I will say this, just looking over this game, and I'm doing air quotes here, and of course you can't see it, but looking over this game here, it kind of feels to us anyway that this is like Bitconnect 2.0. And when I say Bitconnect, it takes me through a world of thoughts, because Bitconnect was really prevalent during 2017 when the market was doing fairly well compared to now anyway. And now that we have a fair amount of people who are actually promoting this and trying to get people into this, it does kind of make you feel that the bear market is somewhat coming to an end. Like I said, a lot of people during this bear market, they were taking time building an infrastructure and building applications, and this is one of those applications to come out of the 2018 bear market. And because we do have a lot of people promoting this, it does kind of make you feel like the bear market's over or is coming to an end, and good times will soon be had. At least that was until we really took a look here at the frequently asked questions. So if you don't know anything about app, basically they're decentralized apps, more notably Fomo. Here's how it works. Basically, you as a holder of Tron, or anyone who holds Tron, will basically use their Tron to buy keys that will then in turn gain you access to putting money into the pot. And for each time someone buys a key, which is basically an entrance into the lottery, if you will, more time is added to this clock down here, and I'm assuming it's about 30 seconds each time a key is bought. And as the keys sold reaches 1 million, the price of the keys is actually scaled to get more and more expensive. So prior to 1 million keys being sold, 1 key is equal to 1 Tron. And as you can see, where is it? Yeah, buy key. Because 2 million have been sold, the price of 1 key is now 1.2 Tron. Okay. The thing that kind of scares me the most about it is we've been watching this for a couple of days. I have never seen the round end. Why? Because people are continuously buying into it. So what happens when people continuously buy into it? The pot gets bigger. I mean, that in itself is very enticing. The more people that buy into it, the keys, they become rather expensive. So obviously the lure there is to kind of get in sooner rather than later, while the price of the keys is still cheap. And may the odds forever be in your favor. You don't really have an opportunity to win this, in our opinion anyway. You don't really have an opportunity to win this because people are always going to be buying into it, and the price, that clock is always going to continue to run. See, okay, someone bought 1,000 keys. See, more time was just added. Alright, so the pot gets more and more expensive. The price of Tron is still the same because we haven't crossed over to the next threshold. Now beforehand, here's what we did see. Before they said, hey, you may want to leave only 100 Tron inside your wallet to basically be able to power the transactions. Now that has actually gone up to 600, and that's because, obviously they're saying here we recommend mining microtransactions for key purchases and converts. This will prevent bots and hacker attack tries. This is actually going up, right? So if you've been watching this for as long as we have, again, at one time it was 100, at time it was 200, and for us it just kind of feels like a zero-sum game because it's going to become more and more expensive to get involved, which again, the allure is to get in early. But more importantly, this jackpot is never going to be dispersed, right? But when you look at the frequently asked questions, you say, okay, well, how exactly do you play? Here's basically the breakdown. Where the last person to purchase a key before the time runs out wins the jackpot. The jackpot is also shared among every key holder, and this is somewhat of a discrepancy that we've been seeing amongst people who are promoting this. I'll touch on that here in a minute. So everybody makes a profit. Something else I'll touch on in a minute. On every key purchase, the cost is also shared among previous key buyers and the buyer. Each round is intended to last 24 hours. 30 seconds is added every time someone buys keys with a maximum time of 24 hours. The key price is also or increases every time a million key is sold. Okay. There's a few things I want to point out here. The fact that we don't even have proper English in this description here is very haunting. And it's haunting because we just got off the boat where a lot of ICOs up and disappeared. But before they up and disappeared, they were red flags that a lot of people had seen, and our channel has kind of gone through and done reviews on that. But the allure, the excitement of possibly getting into a coin early and turning a profit, people just completely negated the fact that proper English wasn't used. So what am I saying? Again, let's go back to this last sentence here. The last sentence. The key price also increases every time a million key is sold. A million key, it should say every time a million keys are sold. So it's not proper English. Combine that with the fact that, it just, again, this being very reminiscent of Bitcoin 2.0 and, how that had improper English and everybody's going to win. It's going to be great. And here it's saying, so everybody makes a profit. Okay, well, in order for this to actually be truly a lottery, as they say, like someone has to lose. Not everyone can win. So to say that everyone's going to make a profit, to us anyway, immediately red flag jumps out and says, hey, this model is not sustainable. The other thing is, again, we've been watching this for, a long time. This clock has never ended because people keep buying into it, right? And to say where the last person purchases a key before the time runs out wins the jackpot. The jackpot is also shared among key holders, so everybody turns a profit. On every key purchase, the cost is also shared amongst previous key buyers and the buyer. Each round is intended to last 24 hours. 30 seconds is added every time someone buys keys with the maximum of 24 hours. The jackpot key price also increases every time a million key is sold. Okay, let's look at how the funds are allocated. So if you purchase a key, 40% of what you buy goes to the jackpot. 30% is distributed amongst key holders. Okay, so the people coming in have got to be able to support the people who have gotten in already, right? What is that reminiscent of? Bitconnect. You had people get in, they referred those people, the new money keeps feeding the money that's already been in. These are not sustainable models. 10% of what you bought goes to supporting the next round, and 10% of any referral or to the next round pot. So if you bring someone in, you're basically getting 10% of what they buy, I'm assuming. And 10% goes to the ambassadors and the devs. Ambassadors? What's an ambassador? You probably have people who you are paying to promote this game. So 10% is going to go to the ambassadors and the devs. The pot distribution. This is the jackpot distribution. What do we see when we look down here? 10% is going to the ambassadors and the devs. Wow. I'll come back to that in a second. 60% goes to the winner as expected, if you can even time it right to be the last person in before the time runs out. But the time's never going to run out because people are so going to be excited with the idea that they can possibly win, they're going to continue to buy. 30% is distributed among all key holders. This is what I wanted to come back to. So we've watched video after video, and a lot of people think that, I'm going to get 30% because I own keys. No. 30% of the total pot is allegedly going to be distributed among the key holders. So you yourself, if you hold keys, are not getting 30% of the pot. You're going to get some allocation of the pot, but that total allocation is only going to be 30% of the pot. I just want to clear that up because a lot of people, they keep buying keys thinking that's going to increase the amount that they're going to get, and that's not the case. Now you come back down here, 10% of the pot will be basically allocated to ambassadors and devs. I see this and I see this, and I'm like, the only people that are really winning in this game are the ambassadors, the folks that have been paid to promote this, and the people who are responsible for building it. Now you may ask me, well, who is exactly promoting this? Well, I'm sure you can guess. Probably some more unsavory characters from Bitconnect the first time around. And here we have not Trayvon James, and he's posting on this YouTube channel, and I'm sure he's got videos on this other YouTube channel where he's kind of going over it. And I get it. The guy, he's always said he's a gambler, so it makes sense that he invested into Bitconnect, and now he's investing into this. But guys, this is the point that I want to make. You have to be careful about whose lead you're following in here, because not everybody has your best interests at heart. I've just proven to you, or painted out or pointed out, two different scenarios where it's clear that this model isn't sustainable, right? We've even seen one video where a gentleman here, and I know we talked about it briefly here on Twitter. I want to see if I can find it. This gentleman was basically saying that, hey, I've made 10% on my investment since getting into Fomo. So basically he bought 5,100 coins, or keys if you will, and so far he's only earned 350. Well, I'm no mathematician, but like I said, one key is equal to one Tron. So you spent, and we can do the math on this, you spent 5,100, and let's say the price is point what? 0.2 3. Is that right? Yeah, so buddy here spent $117 to earn. I'm sorry, he spent probably 102. Let me just make sure if I can do that math right here. Give me just a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so to get the 5,100 Tron that he then turned into keys, he had to spend $102, of which he's only made 350 back. So he spent 102 only to earn 7. It would have been cheaper just to go to any exchange and buy the Tron outright. But again, where have we seen this? It's like Bitconnect. You put your money in, and oh look, it's paid me out some money. But what you've paid in is so much more compared to what you're going to get paid out. It's, I don't see why anyone wouldn't look at this and be like, oh, this is Bitconnect 2.0. Just in a different shape. And again, he was basically saying, and if I can find the video, I'll post it. But he was basically saying that he made 10%. Well, okay, let's look at it like this. If you had to spend $102 just to make 7.10%, so I mean it's not quite 10%. You're a little off, but close enough, I suppose. So personally, we're looking at this, and honestly, it doesn't really spur a strong confidence to buy. And I get it. These are gambles. People are gambling. This is not an investment. People are trying to use this as a way to try and boost the amount of Tron that they have. I'm simply saying, in my own personal opinion, it is not going to end well for a lot of people. It's just not. This clock is never going to get down to the next round. It's just not. So be mindful of what it is that you guys are doing, understanding a bad opportunity when you see it, and understand that sometimes things of this nature, while it can be a fun game, and they do have other games, they've got coin flip where it's literally, you pick king or you pick queen, you wager bet, and you flip it, right? You want to bet 50, you want to bet the minimum 500, so on and so forth. I think the minimum is 50. Yes, the minimum is 50. And personally, I see things like this, and while they can be fun, this would have been something like if Substratum would have came out with something like this. I guess it would have resonated well with a lot more people because, or Funfair, whichever one was trying to actually get the online license agreement to be able to gamble online using crypto. To me, anyway, to us here, this was something more that would have been more up their alley. But even in that regard, I think the game would have been scaled a little differently, a little bit more official. To me, this just seems like a Ponzi scam or a Ponzi scheme through and through, right? So I think it's things like this that actually have the ability to harm the crypto space more than anything. And even though it may be fun for some people, understand the amount of people it's going to hurt versus the amount of people it's going to help, and the amount of people that are going to find it fun are few and far in between. You're going to have way more people that are going to be hurt than people who are going to find this, fun and exciting. Okay, so I mean that's really it. That's all I really kind of wanted to bring to you guys' attention today. Just a different aspect about FOMO, and just to kind of give you, because listen, I come from the era where people want the peas and the carrots, the steak and the potatoes, and I feel a lot of these people who are out here promoting this are just giving you one or the other. You got to get the whole picture, and I get it. We're still in a space right now with crypto where a lot of people just aren't going to do the research. They're just not going to do it. And some people would say, hey, if they're not going to do the research, they deserve everything that they have coming to them. But like I said, in order to create a very comprehensive picture, I think it's important that we get all sides of the equation. There are videos on YouTube right now where people have done 10-hour streams, and this has never gotten down to zero. It's never gotten down to round 2 because people are going to continue to buy in, and this is going to get, the pot allegedly is going to get bigger, and it's going to become more expensive in terms of how much, fees you need to have in reserve, and how much, Tron you need to have available to buy a key. Then, even if someone has one, I've never seen anyone be able to successfully pull Tron off of this and take it back to their hardware wallet or wherever they store it. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just simply saying we have not seen it here, and we've been keeping a close eye on this. So again, that's all I have for you guys right now in terms of the video on FOMO for today. And again, we said it here, it really feels like Tron, the FOMO game, is Bitconnect 2.0. If you guys want to interact with this, you can definitely reach us on Twitter at CryptoGlenn. Let's see, we are growing the YouTube channel. Again, we want to continue to thank everybody who is subscribed to the channel, everyone who watches the videos. Really appreciate it. Questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the discussion box down below. Let's start a dialogue on this. Want to know what you guys think about it. Are you going to be playing FOMO? Are you not going to be playing FOMO? Are you kind of hip? Do you already understand what's going on? And are you looking for a different, source to get your information from? And if that's the case, we would definitely like to be that source for you, as we try to keep things very objective, and we try to keep things, on the level. And listen, we're not perfect. I'm sure there's going to be some things that we may not get 100% accurate, but that's what we expect you guys to kind of hold us accountable and keep us honest. And I think in doing so, we're going to be able to create a relationship where a lot of people are going to be able to get factual information from and be able to start many of dialogues. And that's only going to help everyone in the crypto space here. So again, guys, I appreciate you for tuning into this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.